Hey guys, I'm gonna be talking about what I'm drawing right now. Basically, I was thinking about making basically like a walk path to like a forest. You'll see it at the end, but don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and put those notifications on so you can see my upcoming shorts. That's what I mainly do, and for my videos. And so let's get started. Um, so basically, um, for drawing, I know you don't always see me draw, but when I was like 8 years old, I think I might have told this story before, but I would do prophetic drawing, which is where I would draw something to somebody and then I'd give it to them and usually mean something to them. I think that's the first time I did it. We were in Arizona and it was at a Cracker Barrel. And I got myself some drawing stuff with birthday money I got. And I was like, okay, so I was doing some scribbles and like different things. I learned how to draw cups. So I was drawing cups a lot. I do not know why. I was obsessed with drawing cups. Also, and then I just saw something else, and it went on from there. And so, basically, I was like, I was in there, and I just felt like the Lord was telling me to bring my papers in, and I did. And when I brought him in, the lady said, I saw this lady and I'm like, and the Lord like, she just highlighted it. But basically, when the Lord tells me to go over to somebody, it's basically like a light flashes at them and they're highlighted to me. So I went over to her and I said, hey, the Lord told me to give this to you. I don't know what it means. And I gave it to her and she's like, oh my goodness, this is the cup I drink out of every single day. It says the same exact details. She's like, I've been asking the Lord if he watches me and everything, and she was wondering if the Lord cares about it. And she said, this is just proof that the Lord cares about me. And it was down to the little details that the Lord knew her. The funny one that I do know is we're still in Arizona. I was scribbling. It was really dark, and I tried to draw earthworm. It seemed funny, I thought. And we were at a gas station in the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of the desert. And this guy was like, I was like, I'm gonna bring it in. And I had to go to the bathroom anyway. So I went in, and I was like, why are you bringing in paper? And why an earthworm? I'm like, I don't know, the Lord told me to. So I brought it in, and I heard the Lord told me to give it to this gentleman, the cashier. Um, and I did, and he's like, "Oh my goodness, I love earthworms. I love seeing them go out of the ground. I love all that stuff." And he's going on. So a year goes by. I still know about my stuff, but 5 years ago, 5 years prior, I made a drawing. I'm 9 years old, and I made a drawing, and I just um I basically just made it like it was nothing for school that I did because I used to go to school now I'm homeschooled though, and I learned how to draw a chicken. And so I was drawing a chicken out of an egg. And so my grandmother was doing stuff with her dogs and everything, and they talked to the lady outside, and you're selling something or something. I don't remember that much, but all I know is that I gave her the picture, and I gave the picture to the daughter, and the mother and daughter that was there, and the daughter said, "How do you know?" Ran to the car crying. So the mom looks at it and goes, "How do you know? How do you know? How do you know?" And then runs into the car and then just drives away. I don't really we weren't able to sell the thing we were selling, but we don't even know what they're talking about because I just handed the picture. Normally I'm used to people telling me what it meant, but they just ran away. So some stuff you might not understand, and the person might not like explain it to you because you probably already know it or something like that. And so yeah, there's a lot of things that happened to me before, even recent stuff. But that goes to prove that you can be any age and you can still follow the Lord and do stuff for Him. So now off of the drawing test and onto the praying. So the first time I knew that I could pray for people and the Lord could heal them and the Lord could speak to me is at the Pennsylvania Lakeshore Revival. They don't do it anymore because of certain things. But when they did, I was 7 years old. I was turning 8 in a few weeks, in a few, or maybe I just turned 8. Anyway, I'm not really good with timelines. But I think I was 8, and we were there, and this is how we met two people that we used to know, and we're not that close with them anymore, sadly. But so basically, my dad got seed and everything, and made it where he wouldn't want to play anymore because he did it when he was 17, and so Satan deceived him in thinking that when he's praying for people, he's actually hurting them. And so I'm not gonna go on with that. You can look on it on my parents' page, have one in ministry, and it's on YouTube too, so you can look on their videos. They have some videos of me when I was younger, and I so basically he never said anything. He was afraid that he was gonna hurt people, and so he never told us. And I was mad at him for a while. Don't get me wrong. I was mad that he didn't say anything, but I learned to forgive him about that because it wasn't his fault. It's something somebody else did, and yeah, I had to forgive him for that. Like, not like physically, but spiritually too. Like, because I thought I was very mad about that, but I got told that you can pray for people, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I prayed for this one person for their leg, and the swelling went down dramatically because there was like a lot of swelling. I think the second to the last day, they're talking about the waves and all that stuff with the Lord. They're explaining it in a different way. I didn't know. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So they're saying that we have to cast out the spirit first, and then we have to then cast out the like something that happens. So you say like when go away and something like that. I kind of forget it, but now I just play with them normally. But anyways, I did it, and for this lady, and she had a massive migraine, and she was in a walker, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, my head hurts so bad." Because he went up to pray, and nobody was there, so I thought, okay, I'll just go up. In my head, I thought they're just praying for people, so I just go up. So I went up there and prayed for her, and she didn't need a walker anymore. And then she didn't have a migraine at all. That was my first drastic healing, like very big healing. I was so happy about that. I was like telling everybody I knew, I'm like, well, there's this lady, and I prayed for her, and she went out of the walker. I'm like, guys, it was so cool, guys. And they're like, oh, okay. And my sister and then my brother, and then they all came along and started doing it. And so the last day they were talking about speaking in tongues. And I'm like, oh, I want some. And my dad's like, my brother's like, I guess I can use it. I don't know. So I'm like, okay, I'll just pray some. And so I prayed with some, and it ended up, I got it instead of just my brother. I got it too. And now I can speak in tongues, and it's also how I speak in tongues now. And it shows to show that I think you can know the Lord at any age. You can be close to Him. You can pray for people at any age. You don't need to be older. You don't need to have a degree or an education. You don't need to do any of that. You just have to follow the Lord and pray for Him. Pray for people. And He'll guide you. He'll protect you. So you don't need to worry about all that. I just got your back. Kind of like one of the first friends. Um, yeah, so there's a lot of things that went on through the years. We had a lot of struggles and different things, complications. Um, right now we're in Pennsylvania, at our hometown, and we've been just doing stuff with the church and going back to these churches, and now we're going to stay at this one church. And we've been and today actually we're going to be going and me and my brother's gonna babysit some kids because they're doing a men versus women, and the one pastor said it's men versus winners. It's funny. On Sunday, and so we're doing that, and yeah, we've been doing a lot of things, and so the thing is that with drawing, I feel like it's been doing this my whole life, and also something with cooking, and yeah, I also like to cook. It's something I did when I was younger and when I was older. It's been there through my life, but it also music hasn't. When I was when I was in first grade, my teacher, which I don't think she used to do this, but she told me to stop singing, and she would be really rude to me, and I forgive her, but she told me to switch my Y'all Need Jesus shirt inside out before, and because she said it offended people, and now to come to think of it, I remember she was giving me a compliment, so that made a big sense. But I do know like there's a bunch of things that happen through there. So I basically with my brother and I and my younger siblings. Oh, first of all, my older brother and I we did do public schooling for me about 2 years and about three. Um, and then we went on to CCA. Don't know if you know that type of schooling system. So then we couldn't do to travel, and you have to be at a homestead place. So we weren't able to do that. And so then we had the book, but there was stuff that we didn't agree with there, and there was stuff that bothered my brothers and sisters and my sister and I. And so it was like stuff that we didn't agree with them. So we moved on to Tanzania, and so we'd go place to place. We went to Niagara Falls twice. I really love that place. It's a really good place. We went to Mount Rushmore. We went to different places. It was a part of schooling, so we would go back to places like that. So yeah, and also about the drawing, I think you guys been watching this for about 12 minutes now, and you've been seeing how the progress is going. Well, thing is, I tried the thing with the tree bushes, if the trees, if they don't look that much like trees, because I couldn't find a texture for leaves. It's the closest thing I found. Kind of like when you take two picks and you bunch them together, put them in paint, and then you just push them onto the paper. Usually for leaves texture, I do that, or I take a sponge and I just dab it on the thing. I I don't think it's there yet, but I also for the sky and after I've been doing blending where like you blend the thing. It's actually not that hard for especially apps, of course. It's not that hard. Yeah, I think I'm going on to the path. So basically, it's trying to make it look like you're like walking through somewhere. So people take pictures of it, and I'm like, oh, I will try to do that. I will post on my feed maybe some pictures I did originally. I do know maybe majority of you guys noticed that I did switch my profile. Well, first of all, there's a YouTuber that kind of inspired me. There's a lot of YouTubers that do it. That inspired me to do instead of just the line, which I love lines. Don't get me wrong. Just way too many pictures there at the zoo when I was there of the lions. And yeah, so I decided to do this. And yeah, I was just going. I know it looks weird. So to say like let love like Jesus. It's supposed to say that, and then there's supposed to be stuff where like a saying that I always said when I was younger and even now. Let's make heaven crowded, and then God is good all the time. God, God is good all the time, all the time. God is good. That is also one of the things that was on there. And then the never want to see something. Three of my favorite colors is purple, blue, and green. It's also why there's three colors there of that. I'm more of a forest girl. I like the forest and doing all that stuff. But yeah. Doesn't look like you're like walking down a path, I don't know. And really come out like that how I wanted to, but I'm still working on it. I also kind of need like a pen or something like that. So yeah, well, maybe like later on I'll get it. But yeah, I'm still working on that. So I'm thinking about for videos, I might just start doing this now. Just make a picture and videotape it, and then you guys can watch it. So yeah, so you guys probably have 4 minutes left, and you guys can watch this. And yeah, I'm not really much into talking in videos. That's why normally I do the videos is do dancing because I'm not into talking much. I'm not into also acting. I laugh too much more than just to see when you're acting because I kind of feel like I'm silly and I look weird. But yeah, I want to put my hair up in a weird way in front of me and act true. I do not know why I'm like this, but the Lord made it like this. Be like this, so I'm great. So yeah, um, I basically, but I'm going to eighth grade this year, and I did homeschooling hands-on since I was in fourth grade. Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of things that I did on the way. Sorry if I'm like rambling on different things. I how I normally talk because I don't really know what to talk about, and I hate being in silence. So yeah, um, there's like a lot of things going on. I got a concussion few about a month ago. No, like around no, like my head getting somewhere else. Yeah, I got a concussion. I tripped over a step, hit my lip on a corner of the stairs, and I hit my chin on a counter, and face planted on. Yeah, and then I was bleeding like crazy. Had to go to the hospital, and my lip got puffy. It was very puffy. Kind of like those things that people see when they're like trying to puff their lips up. It's weird. It's so still have some scar tissue, but it's fine. Or it's fine. And so, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy watching this. I'm not much into I'm not much into public speaking. Even if I get mothers watching this, you think otherwise. I went up on stages a few times, not wanting to, but I went on up on stages a few times and got my fear out of talking in front of people. I do feel nervous though. I kind of like the thrill of being scared. Like roller coasters. I'm kind of scared of them, but nobody knows that. But I like them. Weird. I like the thrill of getting scared. People think it's weird, but I don't know. So yeah, just one more minute. And, yeah. So, you're watching this, I'm gonna pray us out. So Lord, thank you for this day. Lord, thank you for tonight. Or what, and whoever's watching this, whenever they're watching it. Lord, I pray that they have a great day and that everything is good in their life and that nothing wrong. I pray that they just have a great time in life and that you bless them and that if they're going to school this and even like a few days ago or anything, pray they do good with their tests and they rock at school and that they get popular and protect them through the whole day, all the days of their life, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Well, further needless to say, well, God bless you, Jesus loves you, and with me, Gavin Jones. So, bye. Let me finish this. Bye.